bunch of gamers, one channel, and tons of games. This must be Games and Me. Hey guys, this is the Pixel and Polygon Protection Group, and this is Magical episode number 10. I can't believe it. Magus, can you believe it? It's episode 10, dude.
10 fucking episodes. Holy shit. I mean, it seems like yesterday we recorded, episode 1?
Mm-hmm. I remember, like, when I was talking to you, I'm like, Magus, do you want to do a podcast? And you're like, sure,
and you know what? It's really cool because a podcast is a completely different experience from making videos,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning a lot from doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
and you just mentioned to me, like, off the air and stuff, that you were basically, like, a lot of your fans were basically saying, like, we're noticing, like, you're improving, like, in your speech and stuff in the videos. Like, is that true?
yeah, I've been getting a lot of messages about that. And it's just kind of crazy because people are like, oh, you've improved since the podcast, and we never thought you could improve. You were just fine, but you've gotten better somehow. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm taking this podcast thing as a learning experience. I'm learning a lot about not only making better videos and podcasts, but about the gaming industry and how it works, because being someone that's seen it from the outside for so long,
Mm-hmm.
when you actually get involved in a group like you guys and that start learning about press releases and stuff, it's a whole different beast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's most certainly, like, something that, even when I started in this industry and stuff, it was very difficult to try to figure out, And it's kind of nice to be able to talk with you and kind of, like, teach you, like, how things happen in the industry and all that stuff. And, of course, still keeping, like, your outsider perspective. And that's really, like, the most important thing. And I remember, like, a lot of people were kind of like, oh, man, Magus is going to be part of this group. He's going to change so much. But, 10 episodes in and you're still the same Magus everyone knows,
Yeah, it's... that's one thing I've learned, too, is you can't really grow an ego. It's an honor to have, no matter, the ways I always looked at, if you have 10 subscribers watching you on YouTube, just 10, it's still worth it to make videos or make a podcast because there are 10 people who are still willing to listen to you,
Right.
And when I started, I was happy. I was so happy to get 100 because I was like, oh, my God. And I never expected I'm almost to 4,000. I'm not like, that's just really humbling. And to be honest, I don't think my videos are all any of the best videos. They're far from it,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a regular guy who just did videos on YouTube. But it's gotten me some great opportunities, especially being part of a great group like Games and Me.
Oh, thank you. And I think on behalf of both of us and stuff, we'd like to thank everybody who's been listening for, like, all the episodes since we started in April. That's been just such a great honor to have you guys as listeners and whatnot. And if you're a first-time listener, then welcome. We're going to have, like, some really crazy stuff happening within the next few.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait to get to those next shows. But I do want to say one quick thing before we get on with the show. One quick thing. Unfortunately, we are recording this podcast, and by the time, everyone will know this, on the day that Michael Jackson has passed away, who I'm a big fan of. I just wanted to lay that out. Our rip Mike, MJ, I guess.
Yeah, I tweeted it on the official Games and Me Twitter that Michael Jackson, the star of Space Channel 5, 1 and 2, and Sega's Moonwalker, has passed away. I don't think, like, as a video game podcast, I think that's, like, kind of like one of the first introductions that, many of us, like, listeners have had, with the King of Pop also, was that, with those games and stuff. And of course we discovered his music through, his great, like, songs and stuff. And, despite all the controversies that he's had, it's definitely a tragic, day for everybody, and not just Michael Jackson. also Farrah Fawcett and Ed McMahon passed away as well. So
Yeah, it's too bad. Farrah Fawcett and Michael Jackson the same day. That's crazy.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
really unfortunate. But let's go right into what you've been playing. So let's start with you, Magus. So what have you been playing so that you can kind of forget about all these problems?
Nothing really new, to be honest. Nothing really new because I will say this though, my Halo 3 kind of crapped out on me. I have to go get it refurbished. That's how much I played it.
Wait. Just like because of like the disc like being spun too much? I mean, I've never heard of that at all. It's like the lens rubbing on the disc itself.
I don't know what it is. Mind you, I've had my copy since launch, since September 24th, 2007, midnight. So I mean, it's scratched up, but there's a really really good place here in my town that they refurbish discs really nicely.
I see.
So I mean, when I got Mario Galaxy a few weeks back, it was there was a couple. It was kind of scratched up a little bit, and it wasn't running on the Wii. So when I got it and got it refurbished, it looked like a brand new disc.
Wow, really?
Yes, serious. This place is incredible. It's a kind of a mix. It's kind of a mix of a mom and pop store, classic gaming store, with a modern gaming store.
Okay, this is not one of those like buffing things like Game Docker, right? Where basically you see like these, like you don't see yourself anymore once they buff it or something like that.
No. It looks like you bought the game. You see yourself like crystal clear in it. That's how good it is. Because Game Crazy, they do disc buffering. You know that, I'm sure. Game Crazy does. But I took Mario Galaxy. They didn't do a really good job on it. But I took it to this place because they have a better buffer, I guess. Mm-hmm. And mind you, it is kind of expensive. It is $5 per disc. Mm-hmm. That is a little pricey. Game Crazy actually charges $2 per disc.
Okay.
But you get what you pay for, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's worth it for getting a disc completely repaired like that.
It's crazy. Well, I'll definitely remember that, in case like that happens to me. Unfortunately, like that hasn't really happened yet. Thank goodness. So, maybe like a really, really old like PlayStation 1 game that I totally tore up, I'll probably consider it. So, anything else? Like, how's that Persona 4 coming along? I saw your tweet saying like, what's more addicting, Persona 4 or Peggle?
I am now in Persona 4. I am in the month of October, like mid-October.
Wow.
And I am 50 hours into that bitch.
Wow. That's incredible. So, how is the game still? Like, I know I keep asking this question to a lot of, the Games and Me members too. How is the game at its current point right now? Is it getting old? Is it getting better? Is it just okay?
Gameplay wise, it is a complete improvement over Persona 3.
Okay.
I will say that there are a lot of elements that they fixed in this game, gameplay mechanics. You can control all the characters. You can give them commands. I like that a lot. Although I will say in Persona 3, the AI was really good, so I guess that wasn't really a problem. Okay. But, you get money from every battle now instead of playing a little card mini game, to get money. A lot of those issues are fixed. The way the dungeon system works is a lot more convenient, instead of having to go to, like 10 floors and get to a checkpoint,
Yeah.
Yeah, in this one you could just leave, it's like a Diablo type thing where you just leave the dungeon, with those portals, and then you can go back through the portal and you're back in where you left off.
Right.
So, gameplay-wise, it's a lot better. Story-wise, it's really good, but in that front, and I can't say if I'm going to like Persona 3 better completely, but I think Persona 3 is better. The story's at this point, it's a little bit on the slow side. Not a whole lot has happened at this point, to be honest, I don't think. There's building up to some stuff, like with who Teddy is and stuff, but we still don't have those answers yet. It's by that time, in that same month in Persona 3, a certain character was already killed off. There was, certain betrayal going on, and story-wise, it's getting a little slow on that essence. And I do like the story in Persona 3 better. But who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, who knows? I'm not going to spoil it for you. So
Are you saying it does get pretty interesting at least?
let's just say that there is a reason why there are 3 different endings to Persona 4. And each part of it actually reveals something more than the other. So let's put it this way. If you want the very best ending that explains everything in the entire game, you better get that true ending, because it's very tricky to get to.
Awesome.
Yeah, and again, each of these endings will extend your game by about 10 hours more.
Nice.